Greetings and God bless. I just wanted to do an update about AT&T. So in May, early May, they decided to shut down their 3G system just to make it difficult for us. And because the idiots who are running AT&T now, they didn't know that the 4G infrastructure is what ran on 3G. So here in Rapid City, many people's phones were deactivated, one of which was mine. And I had a prepaid phone. I had it for like 15 years. In previous years, when AT&T were doing things, they actually gave notice. But this year it's just May 2022. No company has to do anything. AT&T didn't give us notice. They didn't even really apologize. So anyways, I had to spend another $100 to set up a phone. I know other people are spending $1,000, so $100 should not be anything. You know, there's certain sacrifices when people are going with the old school phone, and it's worth it to me. I'm more ready. I prefer the inconvenience and the affordability. So that's just how I am, and I have a right to be that way. So I lost $200 worth of minutes on my phone. I had to spend several hours going to the AT&T store, waiting for the AT&T people to figure out my situation, and I only got half of my situation fixed. They made me buy a new phone, and I had to pay to put more minutes on my phone, even though I had a phone and everything. I had to get a new phone number, which made me lose all of my minutes. So the store is like, "Oh, we can only give you 100 of your minutes back." I paid $100. So basically, I'm not even because I wasted all this time. I went through all this agony, this distress because I have paid my AT&T bills. I have stayed on top of things, and basically the rug was pulled out for me by the idiots running AT&T. So I spent, an hour, maybe less, in the AT&T store, getting sold a new stupid phone that I didn't need. That's not good. It takes like 2 minutes to load, to open, to start. And anyways, now I'm realizing I don't know how to set it up. I don't know how to set up the voicemail. Like the voicemail is not functional because nobody told me. So and then I spent another like half hour with AT&T customer service that was trying to tell me that they had no record of me existing prior to me getting this new phone. Uh, and after 20 minutes of trying to be patient with this person who's in another country who would never pay for even the stupid phone that I have, because people in other countries know how crazy Americans are, and we don't know. We're so careless with our money. Anyway, she was like, "Yeah, I don't have you on a record." So after 15, 20 minutes, I was like, "Let me talk to your manager." And then she said, "Oh, I can help you." You know, so it's just, and that's the thing. These companies, they're mafias. They're running a racket, and I think they actually like causing distress to people. And it's just some sort of weird testing people's sanity, burdening people, wasting our time. Because all these big companies, they lure you, you're just like, "Oh, you're going to sell me a phone? Okay, I'm going to buy a phone." And then they're like, "But not really." "Oh no, we're selling you something that you are going to regret ever getting, and we're gonna drain your soul for a year." I mean, that's just like, and there's companies you don't even interact with that do this kind of crap, and there's no backup. Because when I've contacted the government, FBI, or whoever, when somebody stole my identity, started a PayPal account, and PayPal kept on notifying me, "Please activate your account." And I told like three different departments in PayPal, like, "That's not me. Somebody's using my name. Somebody stole my name." And PayPal, and he was like, "You're faking it." PayPal was telling me I was pretending that I didn't create this account. And then so then PayPal was like, "Contact the police." So when I contacted the police and a detective looked into it, they're complete idiots. because they're like, they're like, there's nothing we can do. There's no evidence. There's no nothing, you know. And I guess that's just life. Life is a series of ridiculous things and ridiculous people who are living these fake lives of lies and abuse, and then they go take their vacation somewhere, or they have their weekend cottage somewhere, and where they can pretend that they're a decent person, and actually somebody at the cafe treats them like a decent person. But you know what? These people who are making our lives hell, and I'm talking about you, AT&T. I'm talking about, you FBI guy, or you detective guy, or whoever. I mean, all these big, like, government funded things or utilities, like, we know, like, the phone companies are the worst, like, Verizon, AT&T, and T, and Comcast, top 3 worst, AT&T, or worst telephone companies, in the nation. Because they just, and I think they want to create aggravation. I think they are driving people up the wall, like the IRS. They were tormenting this guy, and he flew his plane into the IRS building, and for some reason the IRS covered it up. And the thing is, it is basically, it is all by your consent to engage with that. And so they were driving this person insane. And I think that's why they covered up that he killed himself. He did like a kamikaze thing on the building. And like, and nobody is protecting the little person. And when I talk to anybody with any kind of common sense, and who are like, yeah, that's bad, all they're saying is, you should, maybe should party more, get your mind off it, take some drugs, go do some alcohol, take a new hobby. Everybody is saying, you just need to change to accommodate the series of abuses and violations, just all that. Just, you got to accept it. You got to accept all the violations and all the criminal behavior, all the racket. You just have to accept it, and try to fit in. Like, that's absolute insanity, and that is not civilization. When everybody's lying and conning and stabbing you in the back, just luring you into some shitty situation, like, that does not lend to good business and thriving. And that's just some weird manipulation kind of thing. Like, look at I was looking at a rental contract today, and you got to really look at these rental contracts. It was like 10 pages on 2 pages, um, and like, like, there are businesses who, it seems to me, they want to make you regret ever interacting with them. They are such bastards. They're such mofos from hell. And people are just like that. And it's like, people put down, like, the homeless person, the person who's all tripping out, freaking out, pooping in their pants and walking on the sidewalk, right? Like, that's, Americans hate that. Americans, I mean, you know, call it a white, straight Christian guy who's pooping his pants and walking down the street. Okay. Yeah. The mainstream narrative hates that guy, thinks that guy should be taken out. Go kill him. Right. But who is really the worst people in the United States? Who really is harming the children, harming the public, harming the private, you know, just driving people out of their minds so that they're over medicated on Prozac, and they're drinking while they're taking their Prozac, and they're not sleeping right. So they have to take sleeping medications because their job is so horrible, or their life is made so horrible by whatever big company that is. Like, it seems to me, it is clear to me who's the person, who are the people that are doing, let's say, what's the worst thing that's happening in the world? Child human trafficking. Now, who's doing that? It's not that crazy Christian heterosexual naked man in the park walking, pooping his pants, right? That guy's got too much to handle. He is not an organized human trafficker. But who is? Who is? Oh, John Podesta and all these other people that we hear, Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and, all these other big names. Um, and people in Hollywood are saying, yeah, this is how it is. This is the situation. And, we've always heard, throughout the past 100 years of like this being a thing in a certain religion. Um, and now it's becoming like cultivated, it appears. But so who's in charge of child human trafficking? For those of us who know that that is the worst, most evil thing you could do, who's in charge of that? It's not the poopy Christian guy who's crazy and half naked. No, it's the respectable person. And who are these respectable people that are participating in this organized crime, that's participating in human trafficking? Because human trafficking is what makes the world go round. Human trafficking, all the big CEOs of your favorite big publicly traded company, they're all involved. Like just look it up, and you will see somebody will it appears to me like somebody, an ex-Satanist, will be like, hey, this is you need to know this about Satanism, and they'll say Jesus is real, and then though some news article will come out and be like, yeah, and they're involved and they're still doing it and blah blah blah. So I don't know what to make of the people who are like, I'm an ex-Satanist, and you need to know the truth and run to Jesus. Like, if somebody's saying that, I trust them. But if they're starting to talk about like angel of light and Luciferianism, like a lot of the disinfo that's out here, then I know that they're planned opposition. But anyway, people, you need to get your head right. You need to really realize who is the evil. And yeah, it's gross to see a half naked man with poopy pants being crazy, out when you're walking around. But the truly vile, worst human beings are those who are participating in the torture and trafficking of children, and who just make it they enjoy like making their customers suffer. And I would add the government employees who are totally incompetent, and they're just letting this happen. And and so I think there's like one employee for like the whole United States when it comes to whatever, um, just dealing with whatever, because the United States just doesn't. They'll have tons of LGBTQ pedo things. They're going to put all this money into that, but taking care of somebody being spammed or telemarketed 24 hours for every minute of the day, there's no that's not sexy. So so I think, and I don't blame that one government employee who has to take care of 50 states. That's not their fault. It's the person who undermanned that position that I'm blaming. And yeah, and so people, everybody just wants to hate on the poor and the homeless. That is the thing here. The working poor, the home, the people who are living in tent cities, and the totally deranged drug addicts. Like that's America's favorite whipping people, like, and I would say the liberals and the conservatives. They don't like the poor. They don't like the mentally ill homeless people. They're going to go spend money to poor countries, though. Like that's what gets me. Like everybody's taking care of, somebody else's homeless and poor people, but liberal and conservative Americans. Oh no, we're not going to take care. We got tent cities. Well, we're going to ignore that tent city. We're we're going to, just ignore them and blame them. And we're going to send money to the Middle East or Africa, or whatever like that. I mean, like, are Americans just so absolutely stupid? I guess so. I mean, I'm stupid about a lot of things because I just don't know. I haven't thought about it. But folks, the worst people are not the deranged homeless person that's half naked pooping their pants in the park. That's not the what's harming society. What's harming society are the respectable heads of corporations and government organizations that are participating in the trafficking of people. And I don't just mean child human trafficking. There's adult trafficking, and there's other kind of complex racketeering that probably is a type of trafficking. So your enemy is not the disgusting person who you're ignoring. The enemy is the one that you respect, the one you feel beholden to, the one you feel you want their regard. That is your enemy, folks. So that's my little rant. Thanks for listening. God bless.